Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is Alpha Sentry as usual. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different again. A little bit of a more beginner-friendly video. In that we're going to have a mid-range Vaath deck tech and tutorial. So I give Vaath a lot of shit for being, a monkey could play it. You just play your cards on curve and win. It isn't quite that simple, but yeah, it's basically that simple. It shouldn't take you that many pointers to get you started playing mid-range Vaath. There's a very high skill floor in that if you play the worst you possibly can play, you'll probably still do alright. Also, I find there's a fairly low skill ceiling as well, so you can't... If you play the absolute best you can play, you're not going to be playing that much better than someone playing the worst you can play. Right? Everyone plays mid-range Vaath at the same level. It just does the same thing every time. So, because of that, it makes it a bit harder to pilot Vaath at the top of S rank, and that's why we're kind of seeing him not take such a big place in the meta this season. He definitely still has a lot of tools, but in the top of S rank, people really know how to play around him, and it is possible. It's possible just to nullify all of Vaath's tools by properly playing around them. So that makes him better for maybe the lower ranks, not so much at the top ranks at the moment, I think. That's my take on mid-range Vaath at the moment, so let's just get into the deck tech here. So first thing I'm going to start off talking about is not the cards in the deck, but the cards not in the deck. Notably Metallurgist, Ragebinder, and Lava Slasher. So ever since Lava Slasher's been down to a 4/7, it's been a bit underwhelming. I mean, it still does the same thing, but, then say you trade it into a 4/4, then it just eats a Phoenix Fire, or, it doesn't have nearly the board impact it used to. And because of that, I think it's entirely reasonable to, try and cut out Lava Slasher here. And, no Lava Slasher means Metallurgist is a bit silly, and Ragebinder is probably not worth it either without Metallurgist. So instead of that, we're going for maybe a more well-rounded removal package. There's a fair bit of aggro in the deck. We've got mid-range threats with like Sunsteel and Spelljammer. Healing if we need to play a longer game. And also the Crypto Mentor package, which just really lets us skyrocket Vaath's attack in the early game, which can be fantastic for applying lots of pressure in some matchups. So the 2 drops we're choosing to run are Young Silithar, no explanation needed, it's just the best 2-drop in the game probably. Cryptographer, also fantastic in Vaath. I love Cryptographer because if you're going second as well, you can play it as a 3-drop by playing the Bloodborne spell as well. It's very versatile, lets you kill stuff, and getting 3 attack on turn 1 or turn 2 is really, really impactful in the early game. And the third 2-drop that you probably didn't notice yet is Flash Reincarnation. So flashing out Sunsteel, definitely still the strongest turn 1 player in the game, going first. And flashing out Spelljammer, nothing to feel bad about either. It's a 3/3, you immediately make up for the card loss. So a Flash Reincarnation kind of fills the role of 2-drops 7 through 9. Then we've just got 2 Bloodbound Mentors to hold us over on the 3 slot. I think with Vaath you are better off playing lots of 2s and lots of 4s and not so much 3s, just because you can flash out your 4s. Very impactful. We're just going to be wanting to ramp 2 straight into 4 every game. Going second, we have 2-drop natural selection to kill their 2-drop. We do have Crypto and we have the Mentors, so we have lots of options there, but we're going to be mainly focusing on the 2s and the 4s. Speaking of the 4s, we have 3 Spelljammer. That's the draw we're using for the deck. As well, Bloodbound Mentor kind of counts as draw. So between the 2 of those, you shouldn't be running out of cards too much. Even playing Great Fortitudes, Flash Reincarnations, Naturals, that kind of stuff, which tends to empty your hand fairly quickly. Yeah, this isn't so much a play stuff on curve Vaath, so we do need a bit of draw in Spelljammer. And of course, it's just a solid 4-drop. And Sunsteel Defender it's kind of been out of the picture for a while, especially in Vaath, and especially now people are just playing Thunderhorn instead. But I think the interaction with Flash is just so fantastic, and it really does just win a lot of matchups. If you play him safely, then chances are they're not going to want to approach you because it's so easy for Sunsteel to get value. And of course he survives Plasma Storm and all that fun stuff. And then the other creatures we have, 3 Mechanical Warbeast, no explanation needed. The only thing I will say is we are running 3 Greater Fortitude, which Greater Fortitude is great on Silithar and Crypto. It's alright on Mentor and Jammer. It's absolutely fantastic on Mechanical Warbeast. 7 mana, 6/6 Frenzy will win you the game. You can flash it out as well. 5 mana, 4/6 Frenzy. Every time I play that, I think it puts you just so far ahead. You're in a great position. And then 2 Elucidator, just to give us a little bit of extra reach in the endgame. You can run Drogons instead, especially considering we have Mentor and Crypto to get high attack. But I find you need to have 5 attack for Drogon to be the same damage as Elucidator. So in most cases, Elucidator is just a lot faster, better, more powerful, more versatile. Not to mention you can use it to clear stuff as well. I think the last thing to talk about is the removal and then the healing. So the removal package we're going for is 3 natural selection, just incredibly powerful in the right matchups. If you can empty their board and then they'll drop, say, like some big threat, you can take out stuff like EMP on an empty board with natural selection, which is amazing. 3 Thumping Wave. You do see this card cut a lot, but I think it's definitely still good in Vaath. It's also going to give us a lot of the reach that we need, kind of to play a more aggressive game plan, if that's what the matchup calls for. But yeah, it's going to be kind of a catch-all, not situational at all answer to big minions and backline threats, which Magma kind of needs that, something that you'll be able to hit anything with, because most of their other removal has conditions. Speaking of conditional removal, we have 2 Plasma Storm, which is going to win the game against, say, Swarmy decks, stuff like Zoran. It's very helpful. Decks that play a lot of things with 3 less attack, and the decks that don't, the decks that play higher attack minions, we have 2 Rebuke for. Again, if you can play removal and just empty their board, typically you're still kind of behind with other generals, but not really with Vaath, because you'll have 3 or 4 attack, and that just gives you free reign to punch them in the face a bunch of times. So you don't be afraid to just reset the board on your turn, let them develop again, reset it again, and all the while you're just punching in the face, and then you're winning the game like that. And the last pieces of the puzzle here is 2 Earth Sphere and 2 Finality, which I would classify both as healing, basically. Finality can be a finisher in some matchups. You have to watch out for getting Vaath Dispels, but if they're not running Dispel, heal 10 and then punch them for some high number and then punch them again the next turn will often be enough to kill them. But mostly just running it for the healing along with Earth Sphere. Yeah, there's a lot of matchups where you definitely need the healing, especially because we want to always be up in the opponent's face. If we're ever forced to run away, then it's basically a lost game. So we want to be having high health at all times. And that's the rest of the deck. Like I say, it's not too hard to pilot. I'm going to play a couple games with it now. Hopefully we'll win them. It feels very powerful to play, but a lot of the power is kind of awkward. Especially if your opponent knows how to play around your cards to make it awkward. That's where Vaath really struggles, I think. Okay, so I will see you in the next part where we'll play a couple of games, I think. Alright, here we go. We're up against Shaddai. So, this is either Arcanists or Mantra. Probably leaning towards Arcanist, that seems to be what people are playing at the moment. In which case we'll want Thumping Wave. Elucidator it's a bit early for. Mecantor, you consider keeping as player 2, but not really as player 1. Okay, so we have Flash Jammer for turn 1. Elucidator could potentially be a good answer, actually, if he plays, say, like a Chakri in the backline. Probably more so than a Homeostatic Rebuke. So we'll keep that here. And okay, so I typically play Flash Jammer over a normal 2-drop when I'm not happy with the hand. But I think right now we have Crypto into Jammer Bloodborne spell next turn. Looks really strong. So we'll just play the Crypto. Plasma, there's 1 or 2 turns in this matchup where it can get value. Usually in the first couple turns. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Well, it's definitely Arcanists. Yeah, so we'll just elucidate to that. I'm inclined to keep the Plasmid Storm 1 more turn, in case he does something that lets us activate it. I think I like the whole hand. Somewhat tempted to get rid of Flash, but we might want that if we pick up a Macantor, so I'll leave it. I don't mind, I usually don't like playing Elucidators early on, but in this matchup we really don't want to let things get out of control, and Illusionist is a great target for it. So this kind of puts him on the back foot, so now he can't really play an Albeast, or he'll take 5. We want to have him answering our threats instead of playing his own. Okay, Chakri's fine. So now the question is, do we want to Plasma or Flash Macantor? And the difference here is if we Plasma, we won't be in his face, and we'll push 2. If we Flash Macantor, we will be in his face. We'll push 9, but we'll leave the mana up and we'll be down a card. I think we're going to Flash Macantor so we can replace Plasma. This is fine. Maybe a bit of a misplay there. If he gets the backstab one, he can hit us for free now. But I think we'll be okay. I don't mind going aggressive against Arcanist, should I? They typically can't pull that much damage out. For once, yeah, so... Okay, we actually have the opportunity to Macantor that if we step onto the tile. Which I think we will absolutely take. Question of which 4-drop we want. And I think I like having the Spelljammer. Sunsteel's not too great against Songhai, just because they can punch from Phoenix Fire or Gotatsu Phoenix Fire. So we're missing a Bloodborne spell proc here, which is quite detrimental. But I really want to hold this for his Albeast next turn. Again, it's the idea of if we can just keep clearing his board every turn and pushing face damage with our own face, then we'll be in a good spot. Going up here does let him run away, which is a bit annoying. Blue Conjurer. Okay, so he's going to overdraw there. He's really low. I think we might just, I think we just have to Macantor him here. We'll be down to 14, but I think that's okay. We can clear the blue Conjurer that way, and we still keep our Thumping Wave for his Owl Beast. We're going to play it here in case he picks up Backstab. Actually, we don't want him to be able to use the minion teleport one to deactivate our Macantor, so we're actually gonna play into the backstab here. Idea being if he backstabs, we can punch him in the face. Flash is really good. So next turn we have the option of playing Flash Jammer or Flash Sunsteel Jammer Bloodborne spell, or holding on to Flash and Thumping Wave and trying to get. Well, actually, we've played all three Macantors, so there's no point doing that. We're really putting on a lot of pressure here. Beast, Bear Seal, fantastic. So we can Thumping Wave, Flash Sunsteel. Oh wait, no, we have lethal. Right? This is how this works. Cool. Almost had a Vaath turn there. Pretty straightforward game. Just push face damage. That's how we win a lot of matchups. We're green, we go face. Alright, here we go, we're up against Lilith. Hopefully this is Hyper Swarm, because we have a lot of stuff to deal with there. We've got one of the Mentors to turn 1, which is great. Elucidator we don't really need. We're going to play this first turn, and we want to keep Macantor in case we can pick up a Flash. That's fantastic for this matchup. Thumping Wave, not too much we really need to hit there, I don't think. We also have the option here of going Silithar Natural Selection, which is the best turn 1 opening in the game against a lot of matchups. This looks like a Gloom Chaser 6. So we are facing some Hyper Swarm version. I'm actually tempted just to go right for the Silithar Natural Selection here. Really force the issue. Yeah, we want to deny lots of mana here, I think. So that's what we'll go for. And we'll play Jammer next turn. Not the highest value natural, but it's probably the highest value we'll be able to get in this matchup. Removing half of his turn 1 play. Okay, not a fantastic hand. So what we're going to be looking to do is just draw either Flash or Rebuke or Plasma Storm. Run away until we can get a lot of value, and hopefully he'll be low on cards and we can get like a 3-for-1 or something with that, and then win. Primus, interesting. That's an interesting inclusion in Swarm. I like it. Maybe this isn't as simple Hyper Swarm as we first thought. We're not too worried about him going face with his face. We want this to be inactive. So we will come back here. Play here. This Jammer controls a fair bit of space. So if he stays outside that space, we'll be happy. And Rebuke is what we want to see. Okay, he's backing off. Interesting. Potentially this is a Stygian Observer deck or a like Viriax deck, and we actually have to worry about the late game. I think I might be thinking too much for this mid-range Vaath deck. I think I need to think more like a Vaath player. Me full health, me no heal. He played minions. I play Rebuke. I play Bloodborne spell, I go face. Okay, I think we're getting the hang of it. I have 5 mana. I play my Canton next turn. I will probably keep Saurian. Hang on to it for 2 or 3 more turns and play it then. That's what a Vaath play would do. Stop him ever playing a Spectral Revenant if he's running it. Actually, we might be looking to kill him on 8 mana with Elucidator Thumping Wave instead. Go even more face. We'll keep both options. Oh, it's a Sarlacc deck. Good. Go face. Sphere of Darkness. Fine by me. And for those non-Vaath players out there who want to improve at the game, we have... The reason I put the Spelljammer up here is he can't clear into it and kill it with something like Sphere. With his Sarlacc here. And it means if he wants to stay and kill the Macanto with his Spectral Blade, then he has to stay in range of the Spelljammer. So it's something just to be aware of, is which minions can occupy the spots of the ones of yours that just died. So he's actually just going to run away. Curious. Whip, sure. I think he chose not to bodyboard there for some reason. Plasma Storm. Does that do anything? I like it. The alternative is playing another Spelljammer, which would also be probably better. Okay. Yeah, this is much better. Just gonna come here. Are we scared of dying? 2, 4, 6, he'd need 8 damage. Maybe. If he has the book. So maybe we'll play this here. Try and minimize the damage we take. And chances are he's dead next turn when we play Thumping Wave Elucidator. And if he's not, then we play Finality. Yeah, like I say, you just gotta play your cards on curve. Another whip, sure. Ah, Shadow Dancer. Smart. Okay. This might not be a straightforward turn. Plasma doesn't help against Sarlacc. Okay, so our options are play Saurian Finality. We have Lethal. I almost had a Vaath moment. No, we should yeah, we need to play like a real Vaath player. So we're going to spend a long time looking for this Lethal. Okay. I think I see it. I think I see the Lethal, guys. I think we need to play Elucidator. Hit face with our General. Play Thumping Wave on the Elucidator. And hit face with the Elucidator. And there we go, you see? Game is easy. Nah, okay. Right, so that's how you play Midrange Vaath. I hope you don't have any questions, because it's pretty straightforward. But if you do, hit me up in the comments, hit me up on in-game, hit me up on Discord, wherever, and let me know what you guys want to see next. So that's going to be it for this video. Take care, guys.